We're going to use boxing to learn how to generate amazing power, and nothing demonstrates functional strength better than a properly executed right punch or left if you're left-handed. So let's get started. I warmed up, stretched, and we'll finish with a few max intensity punches as we put it all together. For starters, we want to activate our core by tightening our stomach muscles and blowing half the air out of our lungs and maintaining that and exhaling completely as we execute. But we want to do that to connect our body to our extremities or our extremities to our body so that we function as a single unit. Now with the stomach muscles tight, we want everything else to be relaxed. It's a super difficult concept for anybody, so it just takes practice. Just think of relaxing everything but tightening your stomach. And we want to be ultra smooth with our technique. Now our power comes from our stomach, from our core, but the end point we want to firm plant to the ground. So we really want to be planted to the ground, because that is going to be, if we're not planted to the ground, our punch is going to end at our shoulder, but we want it to end at the ground. So I can feel that in my foot versus in my shoulder. So the feet would be shoulder width. If you're right-handed, your right foot is back, your knees and your feet are going to go in. Keep your feet in, but bring your knees out and then come forward a little bit. It's a little bit awkward at first and for a while, but it is truly the way to do it and the way to move. The big mistake a lot of people make, including more than half the professional fighters, especially in mixed martial arts, is that your rear foot is pointed away from your opponent. You want that pointed towards your opponent. Otherwise, your force is here instead of where it should be. So you want your foot pointed towards your opponent, knees in, feet in, knees out, then a little bit forward, shoulder forward, chin tucked. Not only does that create protection, but it also creates a biomechanical advantage to your punches. So whatever it does biomechanically, it just makes your punches come off better. So you have protection, plus you have a biomechanical advantage. Your hands, you don't want to throw your punches with your hands open. It's a bad habit. You want to have a fist. So you can be kind of light in a loose fist to a tight fist. Then you want your punches to break off. So you want to have a definite endpoint before hyperextending. You don't ever want to hyperextend your elbow or overextend your shoulder. So you want to break it off, power from the core, planted to the ground. So you're breaking off, chin tucked, shoulder, elbows in, and the punch is coming right from the middle, right in. So an opponent will just see a fist get bigger. So let's be ultra smooth, and we want to conclude that punch with screwing into the ground. So heel comes up. Now when you withdraw, you don't want to do what I kind of just did, is come back like that. You want to stay forward, punch and back, punch and back. So let's be ultra mega smooth. Hands up, stomach tight, air out of the lungs, and about half the air out, and just punch. As you punch, you want to exhale more, so, but you don't want to hear it so much. So stomach screwing into the ground, and just do that methodically, ultra smooth, everything relaxed except for the stomach, and just punch, endpoint, and just try to get a feel. Try to loosen up your shoulders. If you're not feeling it, just shake it out and just get right back. And so don't get too hung up. Just try to feel it. Feel that endpoint. And then you don't want to come back lazily. You want to come right back. Punch, back, punch, back. Do a number of those. Let's smooth it up a little more. Just punch, back, screw into the ground, back, screw in, back. And this hand always stays up. And again, when you come back, you don't want to do any of that. Just stay engaged. punch, punch, back. Do a number of those. Keep it really smooth. Feel the stomach and feel the foot. It's all about the feet, but the power does come from the stomach. So punch, screw in. Now pick it up a little bit, but don't tighten up. Pick it up, but don't tighten up. If you tighten up, it's going to reduce your speed. It's actually going to reduce your power. So stay loose. Shake it out again. Stay loose. And just, let's see some good punches. But they don't have to be that hard. And they don't have to be that hard to be effective. You are truly expanding your strength a lot with good technique. So just feel that. Now pick it up a little bit more, but stay smooth. Stay smooth. Now do a couple where you're a little bit harder, but still have that end point. Don't overextend your shoulder. Don't hyperextend your elbow. But a few in there. But not too much, especially if you're new. You don't want to break it off and then keep breaking stuff off. You want to let your body get accustomed to this and just break it off. That is critical. The foot, the break off, it kind of coincides. Again, you'll know you're doing it wrong if you hit something and your shoulder goes back versus feeling it in your foot. So you're screwing into the ground. Let's exaggerate that a little bit. Screw into the ground, break off, and screw it in. And now let's speed it up a little. But again, don't ever hyperextend, ever, for any reason. And you're turning over, breaking off. And you're feeling it right in the foot. Just like that. Now we're gonna do a couple on the bag, too, just to show you where we're just breaking off. If you're hitting a bag at the gym, you definitely want to wrap your hands. With this, wrapping your hands is optional, but you definitely want to hit with the two big knuckles, not these. These bones are super fragile, so you want to make sure you hit with these knuckles and just try to get some speed, focus, and I'm a little bit off, but it's still good training. And just break it off. And let me do two more. 1, 2. And those, I think every one of those was terrible, but you get the idea. So we're just going to break it off, break it off, break it off. Some days you have it, some days you don't. But on those days that you don't have it, that's even more important to push through, try to make the most of it, have your good workouts, your not great workouts, and that's how you stay consistent. Not every workout's going to be phenomenal, but what we did was, aside from sweat, we increased our strength exponentially with good technique, which will carry over into other areas for safer, more efficient mobility, really no matter what you're doing. Now that we know the basics, we did the 3 basic kicks, we did the jab, we did the right just now. We're going to start combining techniques and continue, of course, our strength training. So, hope to see you then in the next video.